Hi, and welcome to the Grifter's Game Room. Recently, I hosted Chicago's first Soapy Smith Wake. I tied it in with the Wizards Club of Chicago's 80th anniversary party. We had a lot of good food and fun, Old West gambling games played with our own Soapy money, gambling-themed magic entertainment all evening, and a lot of fun contests and prizes. I hope you guys have as much fun watching it as we did putting it on.
Champagne toast in a couple of minutes.
You're going to break even there.
Would you mind pouring us some champagne?
No problem, let me go get it.
Now the reason that we're having a Soapy Smith night is a long time ago, 1898, Soapy Smith was the king of the frontier con man. He would set up shop in permanent locations where he could bribe local law enforcement into leaving him and his crew alone so that they could do their business. He did this in Crete, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, and eventually moved to Skagway, Alaska, where the big gold rush was going on. Now, some of the people in town did not like him. They put up that warning sign that you might see right up here, saying all the bucko steers and hustlers should leave town. But he put up his own sign saying, well, there's more of us than you, so you guys better watch out. You can read all the details up there. Now, Soapy himself, he got his name Soapy because he would do a soap swindle. Let me grab a bar of Soapy soap. Let's see here. Soapy said he had a tripe and keister. This was a tripod with a satchel on top that he would have the soap. He would wrap up plain bars of soap in a bill, $1, a $5, a $10, a $20, and then he would drop them wrapped up in the paper into the baskets. And then he would sell those bars of soap for $1 a piece. Now people in the audience would try and bet them, win those, because if they spent $1, they could win $20 wrapped up in a bill. And there were people there in the audience that were yelling out, hey, I won, I got some money. Usually the people that won were his own Confederates. He had a special section inside the keister, dropped the loaded money ones in, and everybody was getting single dollar bills or no money at all. So that's how he got the name Soapy. He was doing a soap swindle like that, and he was arrested one evening. And when they took him to jail, the guy couldn't remember his first name, Jefferson Randolph Smith. So they just called him Soapy on the arrest warrant, and the name stuck. That's how he got the name. There's a story about that right here, written by his great-grandson, a good friend of mine, who wrote the book Alias Soapy Smith. And one of our people won that earlier this evening as our door prize. Harry won that earlier this evening. So if you guys want to read more about Soapy, there's all kinds of stories and stuff about him. But anyhow, the way that he's famous, he not only had a glorious life, but he died a glorious death. So the people that formed this committee here to try and run him out of town decided to have a meeting one night. Now Soapy was fairly popular in town. In fact, at the 4th of July parade, 4 days before he died, he was the parade marshal. That's how popular he was in town. However, several people in town did not like the things that he and his crew were doing. So they decided they were going to have a meeting. Well, Soapy didn't like the idea of that at all. Went down to the meeting with his Winchester rifle over his shoulder and confronted the crowd. It says age 38 years. Now, actually, he had not reached his 38th birthday. So he did all of this. He was the king of the frontier con man and had done all of this stuff before he was 38 years old. So if you consider that now, you consider that may or may not be a great accomplishment. By the time he was my age, he'd been dead for 7 years already. So, American Klondike. These are okay books. They have a lot, some of the information. As you can see, Jeff's book is much more substantial and has all of the information. This was written and printed by his great-grandson. A much bigger book. It is the definitive book on Soapy Smith. If you want to read anything about Soapy, you want to get this book. It's got all kinds of fun stories and stuff in it. And Mary won that this evening. And so we're going to pass out some champagne here in just a minute for everybody. In honor of the Wizards' 80th anniversary and Soapy Smith, we're going to pass out champagne and we're going to do the toast at 9:15 or thereabouts. The time that he was... we've got about 5 minutes, so as soon as she gets the champagne poured, that's the time that he was shot, yes, on the pier. It's about that time, everybody. So, all my friends, here's to Soapy's ghosts.
Soapy's ghosts.
Thanks, Soapy.
Money on number 3.
I bet on 3.
Okay. Oh, one page.
One case and I lost.
We have a winner.
Never play with
Take care of all of this.
Give me the $5 from her.
Two of us. And you kind of break even unless it comes bigger, then you're not going to get
This is simple. All you gotta do is guess where the ace is. The ace is always in the middle. Always in the middle. Where it's simple, all you gotta do is follow the ace. Put your money down. Where's the ace, sir?
I can't.
No, sir. The ace is, I fooled myself on that. Always in the middle. Follow the ace. Follow the ace. Where's the ace? Always in the middle. Unless I don't want it to be, because I'll put it where I want it. The ace is in the middle, right? No. The ace is not there. It's here. Where's the ace, folks? In the middle. Middle? Yeah, no. The ace is here. But I thank you for your 5. Wow.
First card that comes out of the shoe is the soda card. That's a dead card. Then you have the dealer's card, which is the losing card, followed by the player's card, which is the winner card. So let's say you put your money on number 3. The first card's a dead card. If the second card is a 3, you lose. If the third card is a 3, you win. Then it stays on the table, or you can pick up your bet, or you can leave it until the next person. Fair enough. Everybody get the general idea. You'll get the gist of it. It's a queen. Nobody bet the queen. Losing card is a 9. Nobody bet the 9. Winning card is a 3. Nobody bet on 3. Losing card is a jack.
Oh, we lost. Okay.
Anybody want to get in? Winning card is a 6. You on 6? You're on 6. There you go.
6.
You want to let it ride?
No,
She wants to let it ride. Good choice.
You're
All
on the 4,
right.
I'm on the 5.
That was a winner. This is a loser card. A 7. Nobody bet on 7.
I did. You only have one more 8 left.
Alright.
This is a loser's turn.
Loser card. So 2. Is this on a 2? We got a winner on number 2. Who's that?
Keeping the game honest here. Keeping it honest.
She's going to figure it out.
Quick draw McGraw. That was cool.
Gun set.
10.
And whole line, right? And it pays 2 to 1. Yes.
I want to get a shot of all the Soapy stuff. Did you see what we had here?
See, I fooled you on that one. But I thank you for playing.
Material, my dear.
Hi there.
Oh, I feel like the Irish American heritage section.
It's all right. Yeah, that has to do something. This is the real one. This is over.
It's a game played with 3 cards. Don't bet on it. There's 2 identical cards, and there's a third card, the money card, usually a lady. She doesn't act like a lady. So don't bet on it. You might see her go in the middle. You think she's in the middle? 1, 2, 3. I thought it went in the middle. You thought it went in the middle. Don't bet on it.
It's all in the mantra of saying, well, that's it. If you say move backwards, it's move, and nothing happens with the cows.
For those of you that haven't heard of it, it's the game where you try and find the red queen as it sticks with the 2 black aces. Now, some of you have seen the Monty, some of you may have even played it. If you played it, then you know that it's not you against the cards, but you against the man who's dealing the game. Which reminds me of one guy in particular. His name was Cleveland Joe. He used to throw money down on the south side of Chicago, down on Maxwell Street in Halstead, back when it was a real street market. And I only saw him twice, but I'll always remember him as the guy who played 3-card Monty with 4 cards. He called this little game of looky-loo, 3 for me and 1 for you, but finding the red queen, as it sticks with 3 black aces, is a tougher odd to beat, and so of course the payoff was bigger. But there was always some joke in the audience that would say, excuse me sir, but isn't that game supposed to be played with 3 cards instead of 4? Always have to oblige. Joe says, well son, you can play with 4, you can play with 3, just keep your eye on the little red queen, hang in the middle, she's the one in the middle. And when he did his fancy little shuffle, people would bet on where they thought the queen was. But you see, it didn't matter which card they chose, because this guy was good. He was real good. You might even say he was too good. You see, he was cheating. Now I watched what he was doing all afternoon. I figured out what he was doing. He would wait for somebody to say, isn't that game supposed to be played with 3 cards instead of 4? Always have to oblige. He says, well, you can play with 4, you can play with 3. Just keep your eye on that little red queen. Hey, little. She's the one in the middle. And when he did his fancy little shuffle, he made a move like this. Did you see it the first time I did it? See, that's the switch. That's how it's done, because after he makes his move like that, it no longer matters what card is in his hand, because by that time the queen is in his coat. So I figured I had the game all busted out. I went home and I gathered up all the cash I could lay my hands on. I go back down to Maxwell Street. As soon as he started, I stepped up to the crowd. I said, excuse me, but isn't that game supposed to be played with 3 cards instead of 4? Clinton Joey looked at me and he smiled. I learned 3 things that day. He said, son, you can play with 4, you can play with 3, just keep your eye on the little red queen. Hey, diddle, she's the one in the middle. When he did his fancy little shuffle, he made a move like this. When he made his, I made mine. I stepped up to his table. I laid my money down. I said, the queen is in your coat. And I did. I learned 3 things that day. I learned that you should never play cards with a man named after a city. That you should never try and con a con man. And that a fool and his money are lucky to get together in the first place. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I hope you enjoy it.
We've seen a lot of card stuff today, so I thought we'd play a little game of dice with you.
Yes.
All right, your name is?
Mary.
Mary, can you see the dice okay?
Yes.
If you want, you can come up here a little closer, or you can stay there.
Okay.
Because we're going to play a game. Okay, yeah, very good. This is how the game works. I roll the dice. Mary, you're going to add up the tops.
9.
Good. Before I add up the tops and the bottoms. She's good. Twice as hard for me, though. I have to add up the tops and the bottoms. Are you ready? There we go. 14.
4.
I know I'm right. 14. Because a lot of people know that, especially in this audience, dice have to equal 7, the tops and the bottoms. That is a true fact. So if you have a 5, you have a 2. If you have a 6, you'd have a 1. The tops and the bottoms have to equal 7. So if I had 2 dice, they would have to equal... Oh, you're good. All right, 14. Oh, I predict one of the dice will fall. Okay.
Prediction.
Oh, he's good. So 2 dice, we know they add up to 14. So if I had an 11 here, the other side would be a 3. That would work. 11 and 3, that's 14. That's the rule. Now if I had an 11 here and an 11 here, you wouldn't want to play. There's an 11 and 11, someone's cheating. With an 11, you need a 3. Now a 3 here is good. 3 there, not so good. Don't play. Now doubles I love. Doubles are good. If I have double 5s, that's 10. That goes with double 2s, which is 4. All questions submitted in writing at the end. We have 10 and 4, that's 14. Now there is another way to get 10 with 2 dice. Anyone know? I'll do the hard math for you. 6 and 4. So if we moved one of the spots, we'd get 6 and 4. 6 and 4, that's good. That doesn't work with double 2s. Double 2s, you need the double 5s. That's the rule. Now, there is another way to get 4. Anyone know besides 2 and 2? Anyone? Didn't hear you. What? Oh yeah, 3 and 1. 3 and 1 is good. That works with 6 and 4. 6 and 4 does not work with double 2s. Double 2s need those double 5s. Now 9 is good. I like 9 a lot. 9 goes with 5. That works. 9 and 5 is 14. Now the 1 is here. Now nothing moves, nothing changes, but now the 1's over here. I showed that to my buddy Keith. He said you can't do it that way. He said the 1 has to be over here, so that's how I do it. Now, you could ask anyone who plays dice in the world, they'll tell you this is true. But I found a way to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So next time you play dice, remember it's not the dice, it's the guy throwing them. Hey, we're going to do it one last time. You know what will make it easier? We'll only use one of the dice. I'm going to roll it. You call out the number when they're in the air, when it's in the air. You ready? Right now. 7. Well, that would be weird. But there we go.
Okay, which one do you want? Just draw it toward you. Don't look at it, just draw it toward you. Now you can change your mind right up to the time I bury you. No? Okay, fine. Next 2, and I say you make all the decisions because now you're deciding for me. Push 1 toward me. You sure? You want to change your mind? Okay, we'll bury that one. It's your turn again. Which one do you want? Just draw it toward you. You want to change your mind? You can always change your mind.
I did it again for him. I'm a bad man. He hates me already. You know,
Yeah, I'm trying to lose my money. I had.
No, I couldn't do it again.
You want to play?
There it is, Tony. Now to finish this up, Tony, all I need is my little coin purse to put it in. Tony, can I have a coin purse?
You didn't give it to me.
No, the one I gave you, the black one.
The black one.
Yeah, the little coin purse. Now, Tony,
Is there a minimum and maximum?
yeah, there's a little coin purse. I wave over the hand, it vanishes like this. It goes right back inside. And let's give Tony a great day. And that's all I can do on quick notice.
It's going to have to be, yes.
Okay, we're going to have you guys switch hands, mix up the cards some more. I just don't know who has what or what order the cards are in. How many cards do you have there?
1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4.
How many do you have there?
God, 6.
Well, 6 and 4, that's all right. That's enough for 2 hands of cards, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, right?
I got 4.
4 and 2 is 6. 6 and 4 is 10. That's enough for 2 hands of cards. All right, now, Martin, she's going to hold on to the lucky pocket watch. You're going to make every decision in the game. Is that fair? All right, Martin, which card would you like for yourself? Which one would you like for her? That one for you, this one for her. Do you want to switch those? Remember that I did give you the opportunity to switch those. I want you to choose one of these 2 cards. I'm going to bury the other one on the bottom of the file. Which one would you like? That one right there. That's fine. I didn't mean to finish. Bury this one on the bottom of the file. Go ahead and choose another one for yourself. Actually, several would be better this time.
I've been told that before.
Choose another one for yourself, Mark. Which one would you like? Either one. All right, we'll bury this one. Now, she's down a couple cards, so choose one for her. That one for her, we bury this one, and then choose another one for her. That one for her, we bury this one, and then choose one for yourself. That one for you, and then choose one for her. That one for her. Go ahead and look at your cards, Mark. Whichever one of these gives you the better hand, you can have that card.
Wow.
Which one would you like, Martin?
Well, I have to go with the ace.
The ace is for you. There you go. That's the ace. That means this card goes her. Now, what did you end up with there, sir?
I think I won up. I'm full of it. Full house.
A full house. That is a very good hand of cards. Now, the only thing you need to know, Diane, is what's inscribed inside the watch. Can you read what that says for me, please?
A straight flush beats a full house.
A straight flush beats a full house. Let's see it. Oh! Sorry, Pappy. We have an ace, a king, a queen, a jack, and 10 of spades. Oh.